I know that Milei did a lot of harm.
If you had to vote for Milei again today, would you vote for him?
No way, go Milei.
I returned to Argentina because of Milei after being in Bolivia and Peru. He was already here when I came back.
Everything is much more expensive for me. Milei, if you have something to take away, take it away.
Leila, a question. How much money do you need more or less to live a normal life here in Argentina?
A lot of money.
Because for the United States, we're like an insect.
Good morning, travelers. On another day, walking through the streets of Buenos Aires, I'm going to make one of the videos you like to watch the most on this channel. And that's asking people, what is life like in this country? Specifically right now, after Milei has been in office for a year and a little more. Since he won the elections, I want to ask people if they agree with his administration. What has changed from before until now? How has it affected you? All the decisions he has been making since he came to power. And well, most importantly, if you see that Argentina is doing better or worse. This is not a personal video at all. I'm just going to ask people and listen to their opinions. If you're watching, share your thoughts in the comments below. You can answer the questions that I'm going to ask people, especially if you're watching us from Argentina. Since there would be, well, more answers from people living here about what life has been like in this country in recent years. By the way, I came to record this video in Boca, a popular neighborhood here in Argentina, and of course where the Bombonera, the Boca Juniors Stadium, is located. So around here, I expect to find people from the middle class, people who are neither very wealthy nor from the lower classes, but rather kind of an in-between, so they can give me their most honest opinions about everything we're going to talk about later. How are you, Hernan? Everything good? Here I am with Luis Alberto Suarez outside La Bombonera.
From La Boca, for the world and Venezuela.
That's right. How are you, Luis? Everything good?
Everything's good. Working here, hustling.
Since when have you had this little stand?
I've had this little stand for around 20 years.
Popcorn?
Popcorn! Wait, you're Venezuelan. Cotufas.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Cotufas. Look, here we say popcorn. In Venezuela, it's cotufas. In Ecuador, it's canguil. In Colombia, it's crispeta or maipira. In Mexico, it's palomita. In Chile, it's cabritas. In Peru, it's canchas or canchitas. In China, it's pamishua.
No, really? Really? Looks like you have customers from all over the world, right?
Everyone comes here, everyone comes here.
Brother, can I ask you something? How has business been lately? I'm interested in knowing how the locals, the Argentinians, the people who live here, see the country. After Milei took power.
Everything is, we're like always like before,
Don't you think things have changed a lot since...
No, I voted for Milei. We're going to change. He did make cuts. Let's go for change. They always steal the same from us, but this one is making cuts and I have faith in him. Well, we have to tighten our belts. If you were at home with your wife and you could have 2 kids, that's a family. And you say, I want to buy a car, an automobile. I don't know what you call it. What do you have to do at home? Cut back? Well,
Save you?
he's making cuts. The ticket is a little more expensive. Well, let's face it. We'll get through this. But if they rob you, they rob you. And it's always the same. Here you can't buy a tomato, you can't buy an egg, no meat, nothing.
Do you feel that prices have always gone up a lot? Okay.
Maybe now there's a reason for it. I don't know. I think we're doing fine. If you had to vote for Milei again today, would you?
Go Milei, go Milei.
Would you vote for him then? I'm 53 years old and nobody ever talks about the retirees, Milei. The retirees are starving. Kirchnerism, Venenismo, and others have always been like this. A retiree should be earning 2 million pesos.
You have to work.
He worked his whole life.
It's unacceptable that a retiree with just 300,000 pesos or $300 can't afford medicine or food. Do you understand how it is? Always the retiree. But it's not just now with Milei.
No, of course.
It's like they're just waiting for things to go badly for them, like always, the opposition. They throw a wrench in the works, that's how it is.
As a River fan, I want Boca to lose, but I have a job to do here.
Look, there's the sticker from River. And haven't you had any trouble here with, as you guys say,
I don't live here, I live just around the corner.
let me ask you something. How much money do you think a middle-class person needs to live a normal life? Well, here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires.
$2,000 rent. I pay $500 including electricity, gas, and maintenance fees. Then you have to eat. Dress yourself. These sneakers cost $200,000. Everything is expensive. Clothes, food, rent, all of it. $200 doesn't go far. Sometimes I work here in Caminito. In Caminito, I sell to French women, Americans, Canadians. 50 euros, $50, a sirloin steak with French fries.
All expensive. I first visited Argentina in 2012. Is it more expensive now compared to then? Now, yes, I mean, even though I come with good dollars.
But sometimes it has its pros and cons. Currently, the dollar exchange rate is working in our favor, although it depends on the situation. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's the same as now. The exchange rate is in our favor. And we don't go on vacation to Brazil.
Exactly.
Sometimes Chileans come here, sometimes we go there. Yes, I think that if the tourist, you or Ecuadorian, Yankee, Chinese, whoever came back then, from 2010 to now, it's totally different.
Of course,
Previously, the dollar and 2 pesos were convenient, but now there are 20 types of dollars. Tourist dollar. I'm not sure, discussing what has been accomplished.
And do you feel that this slightly more liberal economic model benefits people like you? That, well, they're their own boss, they have their own job?
No, because, well, for example, the city government, let's say, the mayor here in the city, he's a real jerk who doesn't let people work and takes everything off the street. I have to run around like a criminal, like I already have to go steal.
Look, changing the subject a little, I had heard that the fans of River can't enter the Bombonera.
No, here in Argentina, we're natives. What's going on? Anywhere else in the world they can get in, but not here, because here we kill each other. The fanaticism is evident. They support Boca when they play and River when they play.
Thank you very much, brother. On the 12th floor, it's amazing, just 3 blocks from here, 12th floor.
You can hear it, and I put anything on during the game. I say you can't hear anything. Boca scores a goal. I say, okay. All right.
I'll let you work here, take it easy. Thank you very much, brother, so your popcorn doesn't burn. Now, we're with Leonardo. What do you do for a living, brother? I'm an employee. I work in a warehouse. How do you feel this has affected your job, your life, your expenses? This is life in Argentina since the administration of Milei. And I feel that
Things are more expensive. My salary doesn't go as far as it used to. It really affected me a lot. It's not only about the economy, but daily life too. Yes, it affected me greatly.
And you, Leonardo, don't you think these might have been necessary changes that could bring good results in the future?
I think so. In the long run, yes, but there were things that were done too close together, too rushed. That's the change that will be seen in the very long term, not now. For now, we're going to suffer through it.
Okay. How much money do you spend approximately to live here in Buenos Aires?
Month? Yes, monthly. Up. Million pesos
Per person?
per person to live, not to live well.
Okay.
To live.
Maybe.
How are you, Hernan? Everything okay?
As much as possible, yes, very good.
Hernan, in a few words, how would you describe life here in Argentina?
In Argentina, in La Boca, Argentina is challenging due to its large size. Here in La Boca, you'll find a mystique that you won't find anywhere else. Nowhere else. What's happening in Argentina is very broad, Manuel. It's very broad. Honestly, I don't know how to judge what's happening. Very well.
A question. La Bombonera.
That's what brings us here today, right? All right, understand me. Boca is the center of the town, and everyone comes here, and everyone should come here. And hopefully everyone is comfortable in Boca so that the alchemy can happen.
Okay.
Very good.
Hernan, can I ask you some questions about Milei?
Yes, please.
I'm here. How are you, Milei?
I don't know. I'm not there. I don't watch the news. Okay. Hernan is a man who lives in Buenos Aires and doesn't watch the news. I know that Milei has done a lot of harm lately in the last few days, right? Honestly, I'm not someone who focuses on individuals, but I know he did a lot of harm. I know he caused harm. Because there was repression that wasn't justified, because I, Hernan, have a 19-year-old daughter who goes to college and has her own political views. And I see that Milei is attacking my own daughter. Or what? Well, anyway.
How, speaking from your perspective, or how has life affected you?
How do you think it has changed?
Everything is much more expensive for me. Everything. Milei, if you have anything to spare, throw it our way, because what you have left over is useful to us.
Since Milei started, approximately how much have prices increased in Argentina, percentage-wise?
I have no idea.
Do you spend the same, a little more?
No, I don't spend the same, right? Let's see. Inflation has stabilized, but inflation is high. I mean, prices are high. If you Very well. You set the prices for me. You freeze the prices for me, all good, but high prices. High, very high.
We're with Layla at a Coripan stand. I'll admit, seeing that grill made me hungry.
Yeah, what do you usually sell, Layla?
Here we sell choripan, milanesa sandwiches, steak sandwiches, chorizo made from flank steak from pork shoulder, which are the most popular things people eat here in Argentina. Just like that, on the go.
And do you work every day, or only when there are matches at La Bombonera?
Fortunately, we work here daily with locals from the neighborhood who are familiar with us since we're always here. And with the people who come. Tourists, especially those who come for the Boca Stadium, are attracted to the neighborhood sites.
Of course, in a few words, how would you describe life in Argentina to me?
Life in Argentina varies depending on location. In La Boca, it is kind of like a whirlwind with a lot of movement, a lot of noise, a lot of passion. People in general in Argentina are passionate.
Yes, they are.
And yes, that's how it is. I mean, we're always like that. We are very supportive people who like to help others. In fact, we have a community kitchen there that goes... We provide food to people Monday through Friday. Besides having the little stand here, which is how we survive day by day in this country, which living in Argentina is complicated. As someone from Venezuela, you understand this well.
Yes, we know it.
And, well, that's how it is. It's a constant struggle. But you don't give up. You stay positive. You put your heart into it.
Layla, can I ask you a little about Milei? What do you think about his administration since he took office?
Honestly, I'm kind of an apolitical person. The day I went to vote, I didn't vote for anyone.
Why?
No, I didn't trust any of them, but it's strange because there are things that I think are right and there are things that I think are wrong.
Give me an example. What do you think has changed for the better, and what do you think has changed for the worse?
Well, for example, things are a bit more stable now. For instance, a merchant considers prices.
Okay.
December, it kind of stayed that way. Everything was just like that. Can prices be maintained? It's still an expensive country.
Yes.
Tourists come, and I think it's expensive for tourists to eat here. Like,
Yes.
it is ourselves. But we're kind of at a standstill with things right now. But then there are a lot of things I don't agree with, like what happened recently, the repression against the retirees, things like taking away medicine from oncology patients who are sick. There are things that are good and things that are just too much. Like, it has nothing to do with what could be done. It could be done differently, I think.
Among all the options in Argentina, if the elections were today, would you vote for Milei or would you abstain? Just like you did before?
I would need to know who the other candidate is.
Exactly. Well, but the ones that are there today or the ones that were in the last elections?
And what about the others? But it was impossible to choose. It was like rolling dice, and whoever came up, came up.
Leila, a question. How much money, more or less, do you need to live a normal life here in Argentina?
A lot of money. I'll give you an example, just to give you an idea. I wouldn't say exactly, but let's say a renta here in La Boca costs at least 600,000 pesos. The thing is, there's a gap between what a person earns and what they pay for rent. Sneakers are costly in Colombia, with the cheapest pairs priced at 60,000 pesos. Unlike other countries, it's not feasible to purchase sneakers monthly due to the high expense. Or you can treat yourself to something. It's like, if you treat yourself, then it's like you have to give up something else.
Of course, your finances get out of balance if you treat yourself.
Yes, not to mention that you had to pay for gas, electricity, and water. It's expensive.
And how much is an average salary? They already told me that the minimum was about 600,000 pesos.
600,000 pesos, but that's the same as the cost of rent.
Exactly. You have to live with several people to be able to maintain a household, to work.
Several people have to work in order to live well or survive.
Leila, to finish, what do you like most about living in Argentina?
The people, I think we are very empathetic with each other, and I think that's why we keep moving forward. Because sometimes you see someone else who's not doing well and they help you, someone helps you, we go together, we support each other.
I totally agree with you, Leila.
I've been traveling around Argentina for a week and I've realized that Argentinians are very kind, very funny, very charismatic. Despite external perceptions of Argentinians being arrogant, the reality may be different. But honestly, the story is completely different once you're here. And I appreciate that you took the time to answer these questions.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Leila.
Look how interesting this place is. It's a little further down from the La Boca Stadium.
They're making a little firewood here. What are you going to cook over there, boss? Some soup? Yeah, a little stew. Well, is it just getting started? Now we came to visit a neighborhood called Caminitos. Look how colorful it is, how beautiful. And well,
Let's try to find more people who will give us the interview.
honestly, one of the things I've noticed is that people are very reserved. Especially because I don't like to approach them with the camera right away and start asking questions. I prefer to ask them first. Look, I'm making a video about what life is like in Argentina, about how it was or how Milei's administration has been. Would you like to participate?
If you refuse, I won't do it.
I don't like it really. That kind of intrusive content where you start asking them questions without even asking for their permission. So I also feel that sometimes just the act of asking beforehand, like that prior formality, makes people say, no, look, I'd rather not answer, because they think that, I don't know, you're a journalist or something like that. Zero journalism. I mean, I'm just a clown who makes YouTube videos and that's it, nothing more.
But anyway, we keep trying to find people who will talk to me a little about life in Argentina.
Now we're here with Stephanie, although she told me her stage name was Steffrey, right? What do you do? For a living, Stephanie, what do you sell here in this cart?
I sell anything you want.
Okay.
Everything I create is inspired and made with love. I started with homemade bread, then I moved on to ice cream. Well, I added coffee, chocolate from Bariloche, and I also make detox juices.
Wow.
I have more things over there.
And what do you have today, exactly?
Today I have ice cream, homemade bread, and the chocolate is already gone.
How much is homemade bread, Steph?
I have them cheap. I have them at last year's price at 2,000. I keep prices consistent early in the season before adjusting them later on.
And with this price you're selling at, has it been profitable for you? Because I've heard that prices are a bit high here in Argentina. Although honestly, my intention is to find out a bit about what life is like here, what the economy is like. Do you agree with Milei? I mean, tell me a little bit about your business first.
I support Milei. Those who work have something, and those who don't are upset because it's being taken away. But they've always lived off of us, a lot of lazy people. So I support a lot of the things that are happening, all those things. The circuses they put on during the retirees' marches, did you see the recent one?
Well, I didn't see it actually. I don't watch the news. I just go out on the street and ask people about life. Several people mentioned the retirees' march to me, but I didn't witness what occurred.
There are fans from the supporter groups and things like that. People who went to cause trouble, to break things, to protest in a violent way, and not even having a real interest in the march. I think everything will be fine as long as you but here there are a lot of slackers, a lot of people who don't care about anything. I'll tell you the truth, I stopped working as an employee because I don't like having a boss. I can't tolerate that.
Of course, of course.
They set an unwanted limit for me.
Okay?
So I've been working independently since 2018, and I see that if you work hard, things go well.
Of course. What days do you work, Steph? Whenever you want?
Whenever I want.
Okay, but usually though?
And I work until I get tired. I get tired, I rest.
Okay. I mean, right now, how many days in a row have you been working?
4 or 5.
Okay. And do you get any rest?
I rested half shifts, let's say. I take half a day off, I recover and keep going.
And which are the best days here?
All of them, every day is good.
The days are good. I really like your attitude, Steffi, really. I also feel that as long as you work and have the right conditions for work, you can move forward.
You create your own options. That's right. I offer a service, people try my product, then decide if they want to continue. With me, There's nothing else, it's simple.
If you had to vote today, would you vote for Milei again?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like he's finally an Argentine who's really trying to do something for Argentines. It's always all stealing, Whoever steals the most, that's how everyone goes,
Steph, in a few words, what do you like most about living in Argentina? And what do you like least?
What I like most is the people. Argentine people are very nice. And what I like least is the people who come and disrespect us. People who come and don't really feel love for the country, and I feel like they just use us as a stopover, or those who have been here for years and have everything they could possibly have. And yet they still think that we Argentinians are nothing special. That's what I really don't like at all. Besides, the country and its people from all provinces are beautiful, with a bit of everything.
Of course, just like everywhere in the world.
But Argentinians are really nice. They have a good spirit. That's what I love the most, the people.
Yes, it is. I've been in Argentina for a week and I've seen it for myself.
Well, I come from many generations. In fact, I have indigenous blood, but, it's already mixed with Spanish from the colonization. But yes, I feel really, really at home here. I'm really proud. I don't know if you've asked many real Argentinians, but we Argentinians are very nationalistic and we love being Argentinian. We wouldn't choose any other place to be born. I think it would always be Argentina.
I'm 100% sure that's how it is and I love it. Because I feel that the more patriotic and nationalistic you are, the more it hurts and the more you take care of your country. Now I'm going to try this little bread. Let's go. It's amazing. Did you tell me you put pork cracklings in it? Spectacular. If you see her around caminitos arriba de
Cajafas. I don't know how to pronounce that. In Alfahor.
you can take a picture with Messi. He's always there waiting for you to take a picture while holding the World Cup.
Won't his arms get tired? He must really have those biceps worn out.
And we've arrived at the Rio de la Plata. This is the river that connects Argentina with Uruguay.
When I arrived, I was surprised to see all this trash here, but then I noticed it had this red cordon.
You can see they're collecting it. They told me it's due to the current coming from over there. It brings the trash, but look, they have it contained here. So I imagine they'll remove it later and repeat the process as many times as necessary.
Other than that, the rest of the river looks
good. At least you don't see any trash on it. I don't know how clean or how polluted it is, but at first glance it looks fine.
How are you, Nahuel?
Very well, thank God.
What does Nahuel do for work?
I work as a waiter at La Perla in Caminito.
How's the job?
Good, man. Honestly, I'm satisfied.
Nahuel, how do you feel your work has been going in recent years? Well, specifically since Milei has been in power.
Look, I came back because of Milei. I had left for Bolivia, Peru, all those countries. I came back when it was already Milei. But my perception is that the country is going downhill.
How long were you away?
4 years.
Compared to before those 4 years when you were still here, with these years you've already spent here.
A lot has changed. What else do you consider?
What do you think has changed?
Beyond the economy, I think that it's a political issue, not that there used to be a policy focused on the national industry. And nowadays, it kind of became a bit submissive in my opinion, right?
Okay, can you elaborate a little more on that idea for me?
That policies are made mostly just waiting for foreign investments, trying to affiliate with countries that aren't going to pay attention to us, right? Because to the United States, we're just an insect. So Argentina wants to be the United States' favorite insect nowadays. And no, I don't think that's the idea. I think each Latin American country should unite and we should do something among ourselves, right? I think that would be the solution.
I agree with you, Nahuel. Since Milei has been here and you came back, are you now thinking about leaving again?
Or not?
No. For now, I'll stay here. I believe that later. After this is over, people will be more Peronist than ever. Brother, because nowadays I think there's anger towards Peronism, not support for liberalism. Right? No. There's support, I think. There's anger against Peronism, which is also fueled by the media, because I think it's like you're doing fine, but all the time they tell you that you could be better and that this is the one holding you back. Eventually, you'll think you're performing poorly. I believe we weren't doing poorly, and if things were bad, it was due to the top-level people, not those at the bottom. And that's what bothered people. They taxed those at the top and gave something to eat to those at the bottom, when eating shouldn't be, eating should be a right, brother. In a country with so much food, what's the problem with someone eating, right?
And do you feel that right now it's the people at the bottom who are wrong and the ones at the top are right?
Yes, the ones at the top are there trying to arrange their power, right? But I think that as time goes by, I think it could be that people become more Peronist. I also think we're heading toward a very individualistic future, a future where younger kids are being taught through the internet, through YouTubers and all that. They're being taught an individualism that says, well, you have to look out for yourself. The idea that the person next to you doesn't matter and their failure is due to lack of effort is, in my view, a false meritocracy. Maybe I was lucky that my family fed me, sent me to school, gave me an education, and taught me values as a kid. People have different starting points in life due to varying opportunities. When entering the world, some begin from more advantageous positions than others. The state, I think, more or less levels that out, right? Like saying, well, okay, Toto had a privilege, it's harder for those behind, but let's try to help you so the gap is a little smaller, right?
A question, Nahuel, how are the public services here? I have no idea. I'm just arriving as a tourist.
Argentinians think it's bad, but I've been to Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and for me it's great. Argentine education for me is really good, brother.
And public health care?
It's good, as much as it can be, right? What a developing country can do. No, it's not perfect. Surely you'll go, and they won't give you the things you need. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's pretty good, brother. In Bolivia, when I got sick, I had to pay, and nobody would take care of me. If you died there, you died there. Here, nobody abandons you to die. Here, you might have to wait, but they will take care of you. And I think that's something we should appreciate. Yeah, when I've traveled to other countries, the people who liked hanging out on the streets, what we call slackers here, no matter how much they work, they can still be a slacker. Yeah, I think that people who were from the streets and all that, an Argentinian knows where everything is, every country, they know a bit about everything. I have to go over there to my job.
Calm down, calm down.
In other countries, they don't know that, so that's it.
Thank you very much, Nawel. Thanks, brother. Take care. Bye. Well. I'm really impressed by several things. The first is that it's very easy to fly a drone here in Argentina. I already flew it at the obelisk, which is supposed to be, well, one of the most difficult places because of the number of buildings nearby and the amount of cars and pedestrians passing through there. And I didn't have any problems. But what impresses me the most about all this is that we're in a little square with some kids playing soccer. And I took out the drone in front of the kids and launched it. And do you think the kids were even fazed or came over to see the drone's screen? I mean, the passion for soccer here is so strong that the drone doesn't even impress them. What they want is to play soccer. It's the first time in my life that's ever happened to me. I mean, before this we were in Bolivia, and when we were flying the drone at the Oruro Carnival, there were like 10 kids around. They paused to watch the shots. This place is beautiful, by the way. But not here. Here the kids just want to play soccer. That's it. So let's leave you who are watching this video with these shots in 3, 2, 1.
The kids arrived after around 15 minutes of recording.
Look, I was saying that in every country where I fly the drone, the kids always come to see the drone. But you guys decided to play soccer before coming to see the drone.
You guys are so passionate about soccer, right?
Yes, this is Boca's pool.
Yes? Do you want Boca's pool?
Yes, I go every day anyway.
Look, are you going to swim every day for Boca's pool? And what do you want to be when you grow up?
Soccer players, soccer players.
Yes. Which team do you want to play for?
In Boca or in Europe?
And in Europe, which one do you like?
For me, at Barcelona.
Look how amazing.
First time in my life that I see a hockey game or a practice. Here are the girls playing. I thought it was just a soccer field, but I guess the same field has multiple uses. And there they are. And well, travelers, I'm going to end this video here. I would have liked to interview more people, but as I mentioned to you halfway through the video, unfortunately, not everyone likes to talk about these topics, which for some people can be a bit sensitive. In front of the camera.
And when I decide to make these kinds of videos
about what life is like in a country, I prefer to delve deeper when asking questions, rather than simply asking something like, do you like Milei? And leaving it at a yes or no answer. Like to reach more people, but without much depth, I prefer maybe to talk to fewer people, but to go deeper and really understand how things are. Life is. How has it affected you, and how do you think the future will be for your country? I hope that the interviews you've seen have given you some idea of what the situation is like in Argentina. Today in March of 2025. But if you are Argentinian or if you are Venezuelan living here in Argentina, answer the questions for me down below in the comments. How do you see life since Milei arrived? If you had to vote, if the elections were today, would you vote for Milei? What do you feel has changed for the better? What do you feel has changed for the worse? Do you feel that what is going wrong is temporary? Is it necessary for a greater good in the future? Or do you feel that, like all politicians, this is going to hell? Leave your opinion down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. And don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time on this channel. There are numerous videos about Argentina and other Latin American and global countries. So I invite you to turn on notifications so YouTube can let you know when we have a new video. And I'll see you in 2 or 3 days with another episode of Dos Locos de Viaje.